All right, all right. Give me a minute here. Trying to get this stream started. Okay, hold on real quick, guys. I'm not seeing the green light. As soon as I see that green light, we are good to go. All right, we're good to go. Okay. So I want to go over 2 trades I did for today. And they're based off technical indicators, sort of. My main focus is the depth of market. I've been starting to get a lot of subscribers. There's like 51 of you right now. This channel is not, I'm not a guru. I'm not some guy who's out trying to educate anybody. I am just some guy that is trading, and I want to just do well at it, right? And this channel was originally designed for me to sort of record my own trades, which I do in private. That's none of y'all's business. So I can review my trades. I think recording your trades is really good. But that's besides the point. As much as I want to rant and rave about things, I'm not going to. I want to go over some things as far as technical indicators. Yes, I've talked shit about technical indicators. They do suck, but they do work at times. So what you're looking at is a chart, okay? And I'm going to go over this briefly so that way you can kind of comprehend what my 2 trades I'm going to show you entail. So on here we have the Ichimoku Cloud. There's plenty of videos on it and how you're supposed to trade it. It doesn't always work out. It can be wrong a lot of the time. I have a stochastic indicator down here, 933. I try to trade divergences off of it, but it doesn't ever seem to work. I just use it for the gauging the direction of the trade or when to bail, which we'll see in an example here. And then down here's a sine wave. It's a shitty indicator, but I understand it because this is something I've looked at since before I got into learning how to do the depth of market a few years ago, so I just kind of like the sine wave. Anyways, now that you know what you're seeing, and of course the volume histogram, and then I drew some channel lines, okay? I don't really focus on the chart. I use these things to sort of make decisions to look at which will in turn lead me to looking at the DOM to where I'm going to either execute the trade or not. In the end, I make my trades off the DOM. That's just how it is. And I'm going to give you a great example on how I do this. So actually, I'm going to black out the screen for a second. So bear with me because I want to pull some shit up. Okay. So actually, no. Let's go back to that chart. So I had to step out of the house today, and I came back sometime in the afternoon. And I just want to show you something real quick. I came back around here. So let's zoom in on this somehow. So when I came back, I noticed the market was definitely in an uptrend, right? And you don't ever step in front of a train, okay? You just don't, even when you're trying to momentum trade off the depth of market or whatnot. And this is the ES E-mini, just to let y'all know. So I noticed that, you know, it's bouncing off this blue line. I don't remember the technical name for it. It's part of the Ichimoku Cloud. And the whole Ichimoku Cloud thing, all these lines are moving averages, basically. That's it. That's all they are. I'm not upgrading. Anyways, I noticed that it was bouncing off of it, and it was continuing to go up, right? This blue line is valid only when this sort of uptrend is happening. And as you can see, the stochastic ended up getting embedded up here. So it's not really doing you any good. And it's throwing off false divergences. That's why divergence trades, I think, are hard to really nail in the moment. You know, looking at a historical chart, yeah, you can see it, but when you're trading in the moment, that shit's hard to go off of. It doesn't work. It's all in the DOM. So I noticed when I sat down to trade today, this is doing an uptrend, and I watch the markets every day, so I understand how the ES behaves. I get what it's doing. So I've seen this many of times where it'll start bouncing off this blue line. Okay, it's a clear uptrend. You don't step in front of it. Okay, now I want to show you a trade I did based off that. Let me pull it up. I know the screen's black. Okay, so this is my recorded session for the day here. Okay, here it is. Okay. So I just want to show you a few things. You're going to see another mouse moving. That is my live mouse, and then there's this one here. For those of you who've watched some of my videos, you'll understand. So we got the depth of market over here. If you don't understand anything about this, you need to go watch my video on the depth of market, and you need to comprehend it. Over here, this is called Auction Vista. This is just sort of part of the, and I've never done a video on this right here. This is a part of Jigsaw Trading's DOM package. I want to show you something here real quick. Okay, so this isn't moved off of time. This chart is a 1 minute over here. However, this is moved off of size. They sort of match up. You can see this how it kind of arches right here on the chart. Like it has this huge push up. And this is a 1 minute. Well, that's what these are right here. And if you go horizontally, every price matches with these lines at different level. So, you know, 29.0675 will match right here. And then you'll see like these little white bars. That's where a lot of size has been sitting. Okay, so you know, size sitting on the depth of market is a huge thing. And this Auction Vista helps me in the sense that if size has been sitting at one price for a good while, I want to know that information. And I can't remember, you know? Like, for instance, you can see that size has been sitting here, and then it pulled off, and then it came back, and then it pulled off, and then it came back. And that sort of briefly pushed the price down. And that happened all at 29.08 even, okay? Now, everything you're seeing here matches up perfectly with the price on the DOM. They go hand in hand. And down here, this is called a delta. That really doesn't matter right now, just only in case you're wondering. So, you know, bear with me. I'm trying to, like, articulate my words and get across my point here. But, you know, my videos tend to be a little bit longer because I want to help you understand so that way you can trade, because there's really not that much good knowledge on, you know, depth of market trading. And I think this is a very huge key aspect to being successful, is understanding this thing. And I think the Auction Vista helps. Now, as you can see, maybe we're back here at this 29.06 even level. If we go straight over, you can see there was some size here, okay? And then it banged through the size, and then it pushed it back down, just temporarily. I mean, this is a train to the up, and it came back, stopped there again, went down, but in the end, it came here and sat there for a while and traded. And as you can see, the size pulled off because it's black right here. So they got through those contracts, and then bang, they got it up. For instance, if you look at my depth of market, like for, let's see, 513 contracts at 29.08, that would in turn make this light up. But it's not at this moment in time. Anyways, you'll see as it goes on. So here's what I want to go over. I'm about to make a trade to the up. Okay, I just sat down at the computer. I saw something that made sense. I have two strategies that are my go-to in the ES that work out in my favor. That is the morning breakout, which I'll do a video on, and then news, which I'll do another video on. Other than that, I don't have any for sure strategies. So most of the time I'll switch over to a test account so that way I can try to find something else throughout the day. Now, this is one of my strategies in a definite uptrend market. If the Ichimoku cloud looks the way it does and I see that it's constantly bouncing off this blue line, I know for sure that, this is an uptrend and I can get something out of it. It's a bit of a riskier trade because it eventually does turn around. You don't fucking know when, right? However, after we go through this trade, I have one more trade that seems to always work out. And I try to play this as often as I can, and it seems to always work out. So after this trade, we'll go over another trade. So this is a live session. Now watch my mouse over here. So one thing I notice is that on the chart, and I'm going to go over my thinking here, I noticed that it did break through the blue line. It'll sometimes do that. However, we have this super huge push up. Now, currently, we're back on the blue line, okay? The stochastic is going back up. It's still embedded, but it's going back up, which is good. And my sine wave, the way this is telling me this is a definite fucking uptrend, okay? And then down here, the delta, these little white bars are up, which is good. And usually when you have a huge push like this, if you look at the auction vista, it's going to pull back a little bit. And what really keyed me off is that the price isn't going below this 29.0675 on the auction vista. I know this is an uptrend. I'm bullish on this. I am definitely bull biased. And I notice it's not being able to push through this 29.0675. So what I'm going to do is take a shot in here, and I'm going to closely manage my trade. I'm going to show you how I manage the trade. So let's let this play. What I'm going to do is clear out all these market orders, which you saw. And then, did I get in there at that level? Yep, there we go. So now I'm in the queue. And just the way that this is ticking up and down, I can tell. It takes a lot of practice to really get a sense for this. You need to develop your sixth sense. That's all it is it takes a lot of practice. So I can usually catch turning points. I'm pretty good at it unless I'm stepping in front of a train or trying to catch a falling knife. Then I just always get fucking ran over. But if I'm smart and my psychology is all together, I can usually nail a turning point. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting here. I'm closely managing the trade. Bang, I got filled. What's good, though, is when I got filled, if you notice, this bid shot up. Okay? It went up quite a bit. Now it's 263 versus 147. So not only am I in the trade here, I'm also have the bid on my side. It has pumped up, which is good. Now, what you see is my mouse is over this red box. Okay, now if you've seen my DOM videos, blue in, red out, red in, blue out. Okay, that should make sense. So I went blue in. I got a limit order right here at 29.07 even. Okay. The bid is in my favor versus the ask. Now, if this doesn't seem like it's going to work out, I'm going to bail out for a break even. I don't ever set stops, which is stupid as fuck, because when Donald Trump says something about China, the market crashes. But I don't bank on stops. I rather manage my thing. I theoretically should have an emergency stop in, a point down, only in case some news hits and I'm not paying attention. Now, at this point, though, just to let you know, I'm managing it for a break even. So I would click on this red box and it'll market order me out. So I'm long one contract right now. I sat in the queue here. Now, if I decide to hit this button, this will go from 570 to 571. And I'll mark it out for a break even, and I'll pay a little bit of commission. Better than a one tick loss. I can get like 3 or 4 break evens for the cost of it's actually 4 break evens for the cost of 1 tick loss. So it's worth it to break even, in my opinion. And if I have to try again, I'll try again. That's just how I am. I don't like to take loss. I don't. So if I have to break even, I will. That's just my personality. Now, occasionally I'm willing to risk a 1 tick loss depending on how the trade's setting up for certain moves. But so now I'm in this thing. I am watching this. Don't give a shit about the auction vista, the delta, or the fucking chart. Okay? Because the chart ain't going to tell me shit. This is when technical indicators are bullshit. This is why you need the DOM, because you're basically trading with fucking one eye closed if you don't know how to fucking work this thing. If you don't understand, because this is the now. This is telling me what's happening. I don't see shit on this chart except for these fucking bars. Big fucking deal. Okay? This bar doesn't tell me the fucking bid is in my favor right now. Okay? So I'm very passionate, by the way. You can tell by the way I'm fucking yelling. So now we're watching it. Still in my favor. I got my finger on that trigger. Boom. That tick up is good. Okay, you notice how it ticked up and then it came back down. That's good. That's good because that's showing me that there's a battle here and the sellers are sort of giving up. It's 175 versus 300. Now it's flashing 300 in my favor against 180. Okay? I want to see it. Boom, they lifted again. Okay, now I'm in the money 1 tick. I could take 1 tick, but this is a trade I've decided I want to hold for as long as I possibly can. I'm not watching anything else. Just here. Eyes in this circle I'm drawing. Okay? Okay, now one thing is 339 versus 171. Yes, the bid looks weak. However, the sellers aren't attacking it, which is good. Sellers aren't attacking. Buyers are hitting. I just want to see this bid pump back up. I want to see it get... Boom, they lift it. They clear that shit out real fast. It comes back. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's good. Because it'll 1 step forward, then we come back, and then it's going to slowly grind up. Okay? Because now it's at 46. That's going to go. It's 200 versus 70. Boom, they take it up, drop it back down. 200 versus 122. 108. It's still in my favor. 192, 103. 189, 102. Okay, now it's starting to look a little bad because this is starting to go to 173 and this is 136. This is exactly why my mouse is here. Now it's come back to my price. Bang, they lift it back up. Bang, they lift it back up. Okay, I'm still still at 300. When it comes down, my bid's not pulling off, which is good. Okay, I'm not going to panic and bail yet. That's all I'm watching is this. Okay, it's 50 versus 200. It's going to lift. It's going to lift. Even though even though that sort of pulled off and the numbers got a little wonky, it takes some time to understand this shit, to really get a feel for it. Bang. Pump up. I want this bid. There it goes. The bid's pumping up. That bid's pulling off. They may drop it. Okay, but I'm still a tick in the money, which is good, and I believe it actually gets stuck here for a while. I believe this stays here for a while. This becomes the point of control. And if you look at the profile step at 2907.50, it's slightly higher. This is the point of control. It's going to trade around here quite a bit. I'm going to go forward just a little bit. Now I want you to see something here. Check this out. We have 598 sitting on the bid here at 2908.50, 600, right? If you come over here, notice this gray bar. That's size. That's resistance. Okay? You ever wonder why support and resistance works? This is why right here. Because there's a lot of contracts sitting at this fucking price. That is why support and resistance works. Okay? It's not because it's a fucking line in the sand. It's because there's people are sitting there, and I can see that. Can you see that on this chart? Do you know that up here there's a bunch of contracts sitting? No. Okay? Now, as you can see, that over 1,800 has traded here versus the 1,100. So, you know, buyers are a little stronger. Okay? So we're going to go forward just a little ticks at a time because I want to catch it right when it starts to rip up. Okay, now I'm in the money, what, two ticks? If I try to, if I mark it out, if I limit, it would be 3. Okay, now you see this 529, that looks very stout, but here's the thing. This is a liquidity right here. If somebody's trying to step in front of the train with these large orders, or they could be fake. But the thing is, if buyers manage to push through here, I guarantee there's stop orders here, and it's going to puke out a little bit. And if I recall, that's what happens. So let's sort of watch it here. 164 versus. See, they're about even, the bid and ask. I know that dropped to 30, but it's not. Well, there it goes. It fell back in. But again, I'm in this particular trade. My mindset is I will take a break even. I want at least more than a point out of this thing, because I know what this is. I know that this is a train, and it's a slow, grindy day. It's a very slow grind up. And when it's a day like today, when today's market conditions fit this criteria, you're going to have to sit and just manage your trade for a good 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you have to, and then it'll slowly walk away from you, which is what's happening now. You know, I could take some profits, but on this particular trade, I don't want to take profits. Generally, on something like this, I could scalp it out for a tick or two, but I don't want to. I know how the ES behaves, and I know at this point that there is opportunity to make more. So I'm going to sit on my hands. I'm not going to panic. And just sort of let it go. And if I break even, I break even. So now we're up here again. This 29.08 even. Watch when we get there. Let me see here. We'll just go forward a little bit. Let's see how it pans out here, because I know they're really struggling to take this 29.07.75. They're really struggling, but you can see how quite like over $2,000 on both the buy-in or the buyers and sellers. You know, there's quite a bit of contracts that are trading here. This is the point of control. There's mic check. I just lost my mic there. Unplugged the cord with my knee. Anyways, you can see that there's quite a bit of distributing going on right here. That's what's happening. Okay? I don't know if people are gearing up for the move up or taking profits or both. But I'm just watching this with that hand ready to get out. So my finger is on the trigger. I am at full focus here. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to attack it. 162 versus 162 versus 158 versus 170, 140. They're not taking it down. There they go. They took it. Even though they took it, 50 came back in. Now they're not taking this 50-70. Bang, they take it. How long does this go on for? Very long trade, by the way. Now, one thing I do notice is the stochastic starting to fall in, as well as the sine wave. But the thing is, I'm holding this. I'm going to hold it for a break even. That's it. If it comes down to the point where I'm going to have to break even, that's fine with me. That is either all or nothing on this one. So that's my mindset. Boom. See how they sort of broke through it? And that's the thing. They kept testing up here. Okay, now really watch what happens here. Okay, we finally broke through and it lifted back down, which is okay. They're going to hit it again and lift it. They're pushing the sellers back. Bang. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. That one from 81 contracts immediately printed in here, and this dropped down. Okay? Remember what I told you. There's probably a bunch of stops sitting here. If I recall right, it's going to push through two of these levels really quickly. Look at that. Look at that. Attacking. Market orders. Sellers aren't doing shit. Okay, now we're at a bit of a stalemate. Bang, they lift it. Okay, now that dropped down to 321. That was about 500, so 200 of those orders are fake or they just decided to cancel. People are getting out of the way of the train. I'm still covering only in case something happens real quickly because things can get violent quite quickly in the ES, and obviously I don't have a hard stop in there. And I guess I was wrong. I don't think there's any puking. I just think this is a fucking train just blasting through these prices here. But it's going a little bit quicker. Now, if you look at the chart here, look, it retested the blue line, and now it's bouncing off. Okay? And the stochastic's starting to go up. And then the sine wave is a little fucking weird. It doesn't matter, though. And here's the deal. It's come back to me. But I'm going to pause it. Well, no, I'm just going to let it play. So here's the deal. The ES is very notorious for these types of things. It'll push like this, right? And it obviously fell in quickly. Here's the thing. A bunch of fucking people, and I've had the habit of this too. I think we all have if you've actually traded. You see it starting to move and you get in at the last second thinking this is going to go higher. Well, what they do is they fucking juke it the other way and puke everybody out because people are putting in stops behind this move up, and then that allows them to get a fill to continue to push up. It's never just one smooth move up. Usually it's a juke up, and then a quick down, and then a juke up, and then a quick down. It's this sort of like a higher high, higher low type deal. But those moves are quick down like that. It's what they're doing is they're puking out people who are going long to get a fill for their contracts. Yes, everybody's long biased here. However, big guys are trying to get more contracts into the market, and that's a way of doing it. And now, if you notice, I put a limit order in up here. That is exactly 2 points. I'm trying to get $100 out of this off one contract because it's $12.50 per tick. Do I get that? No. But I want to show you how I manage this trade and how I determine when to get out and take profits. Really, I should have took profits here, but I don't. And the ES is very unforgiving. Usually, unless you have a for sure setup like a morning breakout or a news trade, usually it's very hard to sit in a trade and get 2 points. That's like, for me, that's a home run. That's a fucking home run right there. That is a fucking grand slam of trades, is getting 2 points. Because usually I'm going for about 2 ticks to 3, usually, depending on the market conditions. And that's if I'm not doing my high probability plays. So it doesn't quite get to me. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I want to show you what starts to happen. Okay, it's starting to walk away and it's starting to come back to me. And one thing I start to notice is the stochastic is starting to drop in, okay? What I just did there was clear out a bunch of the market orders because some of them are old orders. I want to refresh it because clearing out numbers helps me identify what's sort of going on. Because at this point, I'm thinking, am I going to hold this? Is this going to be another stalemate? Is this going to push back up? You know, is this one of those zones? Is this just a pullback zone? And this is sort of where the technical indicator is coming in for me here. Is this stochastic is starting to drop further down than it has this entire uptrend. So what you're seeing, the stochastic, it's dropped in further than it has since the beginning of this uptrend that's been going on for a very long time. So to me, that's telling me that this could be the turning point of this uptrend. This is telling me the train, seeing now you see where I just put in the order there. Maybe I can get that, but then it walks away from me. And it walks another tick. I try to get that right there. Now I pause the video. So I try to get this right here. It ticked down, and then it ticked down again. Okay, now look at the stochastics really down there. Okay, that's not looking too good, in my opinion. And I'm not a long-term guy. I'm a scalper. So it's time to get out. Okay, and I've been in this trade for so long, I'm taking something. I'm taking profits. It's no longer I'm going to scratch this. It's all or nothing trade. I've been in it so long that now I'm going to take some money off the table. Yes, I could have took more money off the table, but you know what? I didn't. Okay? I don't think there's any traders out there that can nail lows and highs every fucking time. Okay? That's almost fucking impossible to do. I mean, don't be greedy. Be happy with what you got. You know what? And guess what? I take 3 ticks out of this thing. Look. Okay? I'm 34 in the queue. You know, and once that gets filled, all these orders here are going to dissipate. It's one order cancels all is what one of my setups are on here. So, you know, even though you see those, once that 32 gets filled. And now I'm starting to, like, freak out a little bit because it's 249 against 88. It's not looking good for me. It's really not looking good. Now it's 12. This was the longest trade ever, and I think it goes to 11, and it sits there for fucking ever. And it's like, I'm 12 in the queue. It's not looking good right here. 10, bang, filled. Yes, it ticked up. Yes, it ticked up. But you know what? I've had enough of it. I don't want to get married to this trade. I'm done. I'm going to take it out and reassess the market. And because this fucking stochastic going lower than it has, this entire uptrend, is sort of a telltale indicator that, you know what? This could be over with. And now you see me looking at the chart to sort of figure out what's going on. Okay. That's one trade, and that's trade management. Yes, it goes up, and I could have made more. I get that. But you know what? I had enough. Okay? The way it was looking at that time looked like it was going to go against me even further. Okay? You don't fucking know. You have no fucking idea. You can only do what the fucking depth of market was telling you. And at that second, it's telling me this doesn't look good for the next few seconds. Okay? And now we're starting to create lower highs here. So this is kind of where it turns over. I think there's a small little push up again, and then it rolls over. I had enough. I was in the trade for far too fucking long that it was time to take some money. I don't usually sit in trades that fucking long. So now that we went over that trade, okay? And the way it was falling in, it just didn't look good at that time. How do I know? I don't know. All I know is I needed, when the market is struggling and it's telling me it may be time to get out, I get out. Now here's another trade. Okay, this is sort of this is starting to become one of my high probability trades. This is gonna be one of my go-to trades, like morning breakouts and playing the news. Okay. Here's one thing I notice. This fucking seems to be happening all the time. Why, I don't fucking know. Now, and as you can see, let's step back real quick. Hold on. Let's actually... Okay, if we look at the chart here, see how the price is right here? Because this is not too far forward in the future, this next play. It's right here. So this is where we got out of that one trade. Okay, so it does come back down to where my entry was, or a little bit past my entry. And then it does one final push up. Okay. Now here's the deal. And I just want to show you this. See this push? You want to know how this push up was over with? Look at this size right here. See that there's 746 contracts at 29.10. Okay? Right here. You can see how that has been sitting there for a while. And also right below it there was some size sitting. When you see size, this is resistance. You can't see it on this chart. Okay? But it came up and banged into it, and then it came off. And this next trade, I'm going to show you how I take profits at a support level. Okay? So, and look, here's the stochastic all the way down. Now, here's one thing I want to tell you that I'm starting to notice. This is some secret sauce shit right here. See the cloud right here? This is called the cloud. I recommend watching a video on Ichimoku clouds. I'm not going to fucking explain it. If you want to understand more of it, I definitely suggest you watch some sort of video on it. But this is the cloud. Let me show you here. This is just a sort of... okay, look at the cloud. The cloud is projected into the future, so essentially these are moving averages that are projected into the future, okay? And then you have this little yellow-green line that lags behind. So the red and the blue are always with how the price is right now. They're in the present, whereas the cloud forms in the future. Apparently, the thinner the cloud, the more likely it is to break through. As you can see, that didn't happen right here, and this is live right now. That's apparently how that works. But what I notice is if we don't go through the cloud for a good while and we start to come back to the cloud and the cloud is somewhat thick, the price always seems to just fucking collapse through the cloud. And that's what you're about to see. And this is such a perfect pitch, like a perfect, just picture perfect fucking trade. It just worked out so fucking well for me. It doesn't always work out this easy, but you're about to fucking see. Okay? So I noticed that we're starting to get to the cloud. Okay? We had resistance, bounce the price back down. To me, just when it approaches that cloud and it hasn't gone through it for a very long time, it always seems to rip through it. Okay? Something I keep noticing this. So here's what I do. Look, I'm about to take a trade here. I'm watching. So it's 178 versus 179. It's pretty fucking even. Now, if you look at the auction Vista, this was support at one point. This 29.08 even. This was sort of support. You can see where it bounced here, and now we're retesting it. So if we get down to 29.0775, there's a high probability this is going to keep going down, and we're about to go through the fucking cloud. My sine wave is down, okay? Or not my sine wave. My stochastic is down. So I want to get a fill here. Bang, I couldn't get it. I don't know if you caught that, but I took the next price down. There's no fucking way I'm going to get the fill here. So what are we at? 34.49, 34. So let's go back. Okay. So I try to get the fill here, but I can't, and there's no fucking way. Watch carefully. I'm going to fast reaction, and I'm going to get in at this fucking price because I know I can't get this price. See how I'm covering this? See how I'm covering this price with my mouse here? I know that I potentially cannot get 29.08 because it's 191 versus 149. The bid is weak. We're about to break through this support level, this imaginary support level that really doesn't have much size sitting at it. It's still sort of a support level, okay? I know we're about to break through it. I know how the ES works. I know the odds of me not getting this fill are pretty high, and I also know that if this breaks, I need to react quickly to get in at a decent price. So watch. I'm noticed a lot of market orders start hitting this. Bang. I get in. Yes, it back ticks on me. Okay, yes, it back ticks on me. And yes, we didn't print any price into the 29.0775. However, just the way the pressure is, this is one of those trades where I may have to take a one-tick loss, and I know that. So I'm like up here covering. Now it goes back down. Now I want to see this ask pump up and this bid start to fall off. Don't care about charts. We're here. We're here now. Bang. Look at it. Look at it. Here it comes. It's a battle. It's a battle. It's a battle. It's a battle. Buyers just aren't here. Buyers are not here. Bang. So many contracts. 200, 300 contracts came in. Watch. They're going to bang it down again. So at this point, I'm considering taking profits, but I don't. Because I know that when there's a quick push like that, there's a pause, and then there's usually a second leg. And that applies to morning breakout trades too. Yeah, there may be 3 legs, but I always try to take profits on the second leg just because usually 2 legs is the sweet spot. And actually in that other trade, if you rewatch this video, you'll notice a bunch of size come in right below my 2-point exit price that I was looking for. That was the second leg, and it starts to pause there. So that I should have seen that coming, and I should have profited and took more than 3 out of it. So here's the deal. I'm looking for a target. Bang. Why did I choose 2906.50? There's 593, 583. Look at this size has been sitting here for a very long time. This size has been sitting here. You can see that a lot of size has been sitting here for a while. And guess what? This red line on the Ichimoku cloud is right here with this size. This is when an indicator becomes valid. When I'm drawing support or resistant lines, or if I'm looking at the Ichimoku, and I notice size matches up almost, not quite, almost perfectly with one of these moving averages, then that makes it more valid. That makes me feel more confident. And the longer size sits on the Auction Vista, again, I can't remember every fucking price and how long size has been sitting at that price. That's why I like the Auction Vista, which, by the way, the Auction Vista doesn't work out very well in bonds and treasuries. It just doesn't. But in the ES, it seems to work out kind of well. So here's the deal. This has been, the longer size has been sitting, the more valid that play is. Okay? Doesn't always work out. Sometimes they break through. But for the most part, you have a higher probability of it working out. I'm taking profits. I'm front-running this size right here. You can see that this is currently where we're trading. I'm front-running that size because I'm pretty sure I can get the fucking fill on it. And if you notice, this market's not even really ticking back against me at all. And here it does hesitate a little bit. It does hesitate a little bit. Okay, so we got in here. Once we get through this little battle, then we're going to come down for the second leg, you know. Usually it's a smooth push, battle, another smooth push, battle. And that's what I call legs. Okay? So now you can see, if you look at the Auction Vista, it dropped off significantly. Now it's starting to go sideways. This is the second. This is going to be the second leg. And here's the thing. When you see large size on the Auction Vista, the prices seems to be attracted to that. Price always seems to go where large size is sitting. Not always, but most of the time. There is no definite thing in trading. Now, we're just waiting. We just need to break this 2907 even. And the odds are in our favor. It's 340 versus 2. Bang! There they go. Okay? A little tick up. That's okay, because this is the point of control. Usually the point of control acts like a magnet. This is where we've been trading. Usually it sort of hesitates to get away from that sometimes. Now, theoretically, I should have my mouse covering up here, but I don't. Because I'm so fucking confident for some reason. I just have this sense that this is going to work out. Just the way this is being attacked. The way the buyers are being attacked. Bang. Bang! Got filled. Got filled. Now get this shit. I got filled, right? There's no way in hell I would have got 2906, 25, because only 19 traded here. I front ran that shit. Okay? Guess what? From this point forward, it never comes back to this fucking price. I fucking nailed a fucking bottom. Okay? I nailed a bottom. And I'm bragging about it. And it fucking feels good, man. It feels fucking good, but check this shit out. Look at the Ichimoku cloud here. See this red line right here? I know it's a little hard to see. I watched this. I watched the market so much. Okay? I know how it behaves, and this is something. I'm going to just let this play in the background while I talk, because the trade's over with. I believe I made, what was it, $75 on that one. What is that, divided by 1250? That was 6 ticks. Okay, that was a 1.5 of profit right there. That to me is a fucking hell of a trade. That's a good trade. Okay? That's a fucking fantastic fucking trade. $75, you know what? If I would have done 5 contracts, that would have been more. But you know what? You need to learn to trade small first, because, scaling up sizes is going to do no good. If you can't trade 1 contract for shit, what makes you think you can trade 5, okay? You don't go all in. Learn to play the fucking game. I like the fucking game. I used to want to do this for the fucking money, but now it's about the fucking game. I love the fucking game. And if you can't learn to love this fucking game, you're never going to fucking do good at it. Look at it walking away, okay? And that's the thing. I noticed this shit. If this goes away from the cloud and the cloud is somewhat thick and we come to it, it always seems to break through. It doesn't always work out this fucking perfect. It didn't even really go against me at all. Really, it wasn't like the first trade where I fucking sat there and had to fucking just manage the trade for what felt like hours before it started to go away in my favor. This just fucking worked out, and it always seems to do that. Now, let's pull up a chart, okay? So, like, for example, this is right now. It tested it and it fell, but the cloud's real thin right here. And then, and then look at this bar. Look how huge it is. Usually, and it's been a while since it broke through the cloud. I mean, look, it's been away from the cloud for so long, but it was real thin right here, and it came away. And then it eventually started ripping through it. So, again, rips through the fucking cloud right here. Huge. Huge. This one, it chops through the cloud. But this one, it goes through and then it stops there. But the thing is, it's like when the cloud is thick, because this is my trade right here. When the thicker the cloud, the better it seems to work out, okay? And today was one of those days that I can tend to trade real good. Now, check this out. Right here. Look how thick the fucking cloud is right here, okay? We have this massive fucking meltdown here. We're away from the cloud for fucking ever, okay? And then we get to the cloud, and it's not like my trade where it worked out the first time. It came back. And it'll do that sometimes. And then it started to just go through so effortlessly. And then obviously it starts to hesitate here. But then it comes back out on the other side. It seems like the thicker the cloud, and usually when people teach Ichimoku, they say thicker, the more resistance it is, the thinner, the more likely it'll go through. That's not what I'm seeing, but this is like a 1 minute chart, so that could be different on some other time frame. And I just have this 1 minute chart up because it gives me points of reference. Which way is the stochastic facing? Because in the end, the stochastic kind of tells you what direction you need to trade. And these cloud trades seem to work out relatively well. Obviously, it didn't work out here at first, and I wasn't trading it at this time, but then it just comes through, and once it breaks through it, yes, I know it looks like it breaks through here. Charts can sort of play tricks on your eyes compared to what you're seeing on the Auction Vista. You know, it may look like it's trending on the chart, but on the Auction Vista, it's really a sideways market. You know, maybe not much shit. There's maybe not much volume in a certain area. But anyways, it just gets all the way through it right here. And look, here, it's really thin. The cloud's really thin right here, and it just bounces and comes back out of it. So it seems like when it's thick, it likes to go through the cloud. So, yeah, and Ichimoku cloud's okay. It's not the greatest thing, but it definitely helps me figure out shit. Because sometimes, you know, when I'm seeing this clear uptrend, you know what I'm saying? And it's constantly bouncing off of this. We're over the cloud. We're over the red moving average. We're bouncing off the blue one. And this line right here, it lags. If this lagging line, apparently if this lagging line goes through price, the market goes sideways. So currently it's going over the cloud. So apparently it's supposed to stay over and become an uptrend. But right here, it started to go through the price. So if you go back a little bit, the market was sort of going sideways. So apparently if this lagging line is going through price, the market's going to go sideways. But that's all fucking theory. It's not how the market works. The market just works off randomness. I mean, yes, technical indicators do kind of work, but you just can't rely on them. And you're not seeing the best information if you're not looking at the DOM. And check this out. Let's see if I nailed, because what is the market about to close? The market is closed. This is a long video, and thank you for watching it. I hope this helps you, really, is the point of this. So this is where I nailed my profits, right? Got in here, nailed my profits, 75 bucks. Look, doesn't even come back to here. Oh, it does later in the day. It does later in the day, okay? But you want to wait that fucking long? Hours upon hours? No, I mean, you're not going to do that to try and nail that bottom. And how did I know that there's a bottom? How did I know? Because this red line is supposed to be support, right? The way I know it was support was because, oops, I saw it. There's size sitting on the depth of market, and it's been sitting there for a fucking long time. Okay? It's been sitting there for such a long time. And that's just how I know it's valid. Because these fucking lines don't work if there's no size there. Look how it went through the top of the cloud. Apparently the top of the cloud's supposed to be support. Okay? But if you look on the Auction Vista, there's been no size sitting there at all. Okay? There's been no size here. So, of course, it just goes through the cloud so easily. So when you're looking at like moving averages, if you rather use moving averages, and I've seen it work with moving averages, like I saw a really good trade off a 200 period moving average, and it was on a chart. And you know what? The 200 period moving average had a bunch of size sitting there. If the 200 period moving average doesn't have size sitting there, then it doesn't usually work out. And a lot of people wonder why fucking technical analysis works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Is there fucking size sitting there? Is there fucking size sitting there? There's been size sitting here for a long time. Now, occasionally you'll see size, like right here, you'll see size show up and then it's gone. Okay, that's not valid. The longer size has been sitting there, the more high probability it is that it's going to fucking bounce off. And if it doesn't fucking bounce off, it's going to fucking rip through that level, and that level is going to be, you know, if it rips through this support level here, this is going to be the new resistance. That's how this shit works. I hope you can see now. I hope you can see, and hopefully this helps, okay? Because I'm part of a trading room, and I'm about to wrap this shit up. I'm part of this trading room with these professionals who don't use the depth of market at all. They use divergences off the stochastics and all that shit. Okay, and it works for them because they've been practicing it for longer than I've been trading. Okay, and it fucking works for them. They know what they're looking for. They draw the channel lines. They understand based off how the chart looks when a trade's going to move out. I feel like that, you know, it just doesn't work for me. What works for me is the depth of market. But here's the thing. These guys will often, sometimes call out a trade. And they'll be like, it's going to keep going down. For instance, right here. And I'm looking at my fucking depth of market, and I see size has been sitting here on the auction Vista for a long time, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then all of a sudden, it bounces, and I'm right, and these professionals who have been doing it for years, decades, are fucking wrong. Because they don't have this fucking information. Okay? This shit isn't expensive, man. Really, it's not. It's Jigsaw. I'm not paid by them or anything, but this tool is the most valuable thing, and honestly, you don't even need charts to be able to succeed with it. I just think technical indicators help you make a decision. I don't think technical indicators work alone, necessarily. I think they help you make a decision. And when I see a technical indicator line up, like a support and resistance line, like this cloud line up with size, that just makes me feel more fucking confidence, because it's not just a squiggly line on the chart. There's something that's actually backing that up, and that is size. And if you're looking at the fucking DOM, you would know that. Why did it break through the fucking cloud? There was no size here. Why did it stop at the bottom of the cloud? There was size sitting here. Okay? Why did it top out right here? Because there's size sitting up here. Okay? Sometimes they break through it, and you can see it coming before it happens, and hopefully I can get some videos on that. But, you know, I'm very passionate about this. I fucking love this game. Dude, I want you guys to succeed, because futures trading is fucking hard. Okay? You're essentially gambling, long or short. It's fucking hard. But you know what? If you don't fucking give up, and you're smart, and you're not in there fucking blowing up your account, you know what? Trade on a fucking simulator. And this is why I like Jigsaws, because they put you in a queue on the simulator, so you don't automatically get filled, so it's more realistic. Okay? Jigsaw is awesome, and that's what I still use simulator. Okay? I'll do my real trades for my setups. I know that fucking work, but when I'm trying to, you know, sometimes I just can't fucking sit there for hours and I need something to do, so I'll just switch on the simulator and I'll just start fucking cramming on the button and managing trades. And, you know, usually my simulator account doesn't do well at all because I'm just fucking cranking on the fucking mouse button. But that's the beauty, because it allows me to practice managing my fucking trades. And what you saw here, the way I knew to grab the next price when it was going through the cloud, because I wasn't going to get filled at that one price, is because I practiced that shit so much. I think it's very valuable to not just live trade, but to always go back to the simulator to practice, to practice, to practice, to practice. This is a fucking skill, okay? This is a fucking skill. And you know what? I'm going to leave it off there. I hope you guys fucking love this shit. I hope I explained it clear enough. I hope that after you've seen my depth of market video and you understand how it sort of works, I hope this fucking helps. And I hope it helps you see some of these trades and how I executed them and how you're not going to fucking nail tops or bottoms, but how sometimes you can nail tops or bottoms. You know what I'm saying? There's always another trade around the corner. Okay? My biggest problem at times can be chasing trades or stepping in front of a train. But usually that only happens on my simulator account because I'm not willing to risk real money. Okay? I only do that on trades I know that fucking work. And I'll bring you some videos on those. Okay? I'm going to leave it here. I'm done. I'm done talking.